the future.
Computer.
Conduit opening.
What is my name?
Your name is John Peter Brzezinski, and you are an off-world officer.
How old?
You were born 1 hour 47 minutes and 15 seconds ago.
What game is this?
This is Planet Earth, a DK Anther game.
My mission?
Silent alien invasion in progress. Your mission is to locate, infiltrate, and then stop this invisible enemy.
What is their goal?
To win the game.
Strategy.
Fatality through immorality.
The Sodom and Gomorrah strategy.
Affirmative. They want the people to self-destruct morally, embarrassing the game developer, allowing the invisible invaders to eradicate the players, thus end the game.
Counter strategy.
There is a 5-year-old girl forces have identified as counter to this plan, for she is a Nova. They will want to eliminate her. You must join them and ascertain her value to the future of this world and act accordingly.
Computer. One last question.
Conduit still open.
What is my probability for success?
One chance in 10,554,437,223,656.
Oh my god.
as a divination text. The I Ching is used for a traditional Chinese form of clemency known as I Ching divination, in which bundles of yarrow stalks are manipulated to produce sets of 6 apparently random numbers, ranging from 6 to 9. Each of the 64 possible sets corresponds to a hexagram, which can be looked up in the I Ching. The hexagrams are arranged in an order known as the Qinwen sequence. The interpretation of the readings found in the I Ching has been endlessly discussed and debated over the centuries. Many commentators have used the book symbolically, often to provide guidance for moral decision-making as informed by Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. The hexagrams themselves have often acquired cosmological significance and been paralleled with many other traditional names for the processes of change, such as yin and yang and Wu crossing. Yin and yang are represented by broken and solid lines. Yin is broken, and yang is solid. Different constructions of 3 yin and yang lines lead to 8 trigrams. The different combinations of the 2 trigrams lead to 64 hexagrams. The I Ching therefore has some amazing similarities to DNA, for instance. Both DNA and the I Ching use a basic set of patterns to build up their forms and functions. Think of the pattern as a set of blueprints or a recipe to replicate something. These patterns can be mapped using templates that allow us to make analogies and create metaphors using symbols, letters, and numbers which represent objects, ideas, and relationships, metaphors that our minds can grasp and make sense out of. Let's start with the form pattern for DNA. Since there are only 4 DNA base pairs, we could have used anything to represent them. But it was easy just to use the first letter of each of the base pairs to represent each base. A for adenine, T for thymine, G for guanine, and C for cytosine. Combine the 4 letters and a single set is created. Combine the sets into a grouping of 3 sets and you get a codon for X4 equals sine 64. There are 64 combinations that can be created for each codon group. We take these codons and attach them to a double helix shape, and voila! We have mapped the basic DNA structure.
Digital root of 9 is 9 itself. If we add the digits of any multiple of 9, the sum will eventually reduce to 9. For example, the digital root of 27 is 2 plus 7 equals 9. And the digital root of 135 is 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. This property of 9 is known as the divisibility rule for 9. The reason why the digital root of 9 is so significant is because of the unique properties it possesses. One of the essential properties of the digital root of 9 is that it is preserved under multiplication. That is, if we multiply any number by 9, the digital root of the product will always be 9. For example, the digital root of 27x9 is 2 plus 7 plus 9 equals 18, which reduces to 1 plus 8 equals 9. Another attractive property of the digital root of 9 is that it can be used to check the correctness of calculations. For example, suppose we want to verify whether the sum of 2 numbers, 123 and 456, is correct. We can add the digital roots of these numbers, which are 6 and 6 respectively. If the digital root of the sum is also 6, then we can be sure that our calculation is correct. This property is beneficial in cryptography, where digital roots are used. The digital root of 9 also has deep connections with other areas of mathematics. One such area is number theory, where the digital root of 9 is used to study the properties of perfect squares. A perfect square is a number that can be expressed as the product of to equal integers, such as 4, 9, 16, and so on. It turns out that a number is a perfect square if and only if its digital root is either 1, 4, 7, or 9. This result is known as the digital root test for perfect squares. Another exciting application of the digital root of 9 is in the study of palindromic numbers. A palindromic number is a number that reads the same backward as forwards, such as 121 or 12,321. It turns out that a number is palindromic if and only if its digital root is 1, 4, 7, or 9. This result is known as the digital root test for palindromic numbers. Finally, the digital root of 9 also connects with other science and technology areas. One such area is music theory, where the digital root of 9 is used to study the properties of musical scales. A musical scale is a sequence of notes arranged in ascending or descending order, such as the C major scale, which consists of the notes C, D, D, F, G, A, and B. It turns out that the digital root of the frequencies of the notes in a musical scale is always 9. This result is known as the digital root rule for musical scales.
Probability physics is a field of physics that deals with the quantification of the likelihood of random events occurring. It plays an essential role in physics as it allows scientists to model and predict the behavior of systems that exhibit inherent randomness or uncertainty. Probability physics is based on the principles of probability theory, which provides a mathematical framework for analyzing random events and predicting their outcomes. The principles of probability physics are based on the laws of probability theory. These laws include the law of large numbers, the central limit theorem, and the Bayes theorem. The law of large numbers states that the average of a large number of independent, identically distributed random variables converges to the expected value of the variable. This means that if we flip a coin many times, the proportion of times it comes up heads will approach 0.5. The central limit theorem states that the sum of a large number of independent, identically distributed random variables approaches a normal distribution. This theorem is used in many fields of physics, including statistical mechanics and astrophysics. One of the fundamental principles of probability physics is conditional probability. Conditional probability is the probability of an event occurring given that another event has already occurred. For example, the probability of drawing a spade from a deck of cards is 1/4 or 0.25. However, if we know that the first card drawn was a spade, then the probability of drawing another spade from the remaining cards in the deck is different. This is because the probability of drawing a spade changes based on the outcome of the first draw. Conditional probability is an important concept in many areas of physics, including quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, and astrophysics. Probability physics is used extensively in many fields of physics, including quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, and astrophysics. In quantum mechanics, probability is used to describe the behavior of particles and the outcomes of measurements. The wave function, which describes the state of a particle, is a probabilistic function that gives the probability of finding the particle in a particular location or state. The uncertainty principle is another key concept in quantum mechanics that is related to probability. It states that it is impossible to simultaneously determine the position and momentum of the particle with arbitrary precision.
S-matrix theory is a broad and varied subject that attempts to address a number of deep questions of fundamental physics. Because string theory potentially provides a unified description of gravity and particle physics, it is a candidate for a theory of everything, a self-contained mathematical model that describes all fundamental forces and forms of matter. Despite much work on these problems, it is not known to what extent this new revolutionary theory describes the real world or how much freedom the theory allows in the choice of its details. S-matrix theory also allows us to qualify and propose 11 dimensions in which are: first dimension. The first dimension is simply the length of a line. It is the most basic of all dimensions and is often referred to as a line dimension. Second dimension. The second dimension is width, or the length and width of a flat surface. It is often referred to as the plane dimension. Third dimension. The third dimension is height, or the depth of an object. It is often referred to as the spatial dimension. Fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is time, which is often considered to be the fourth dimension of space-time. It is sometimes referred to as the temporal dimension. Fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is the possibility dimension, which is used to describe all possible outcomes of a situation. It is sometimes referred to as the parallel universe dimension. Sixth dimension. The sixth dimension is the probability dimension, which is used to describe the likelihood of different outcomes. It is sometimes referred to as the probability dimension. Seventh dimension. The seventh dimension is the timeline dimension, which is used to describe the different timelines or paths that events can take. It is sometimes referred to as the possible world dimension. Eighth dimension. The eighth dimension is the intention dimension, which is used to describe the different intentions or motivations behind actions. It is sometimes referred to as the thought dimension. Ninth dimension. The ninth dimension is the form dimension, which is used to describe the different shapes and structures that objects can take. It is sometimes referred to as the space of forms dimension. 10th dimension. The 10th dimension is the string dimension, which is used to describe the different configurations and properties of strings. It is sometimes referred to as the string theory dimension. 11th dimension. The 11th dimension is the M-theory dimension, which is used to describe the different membranes or branes that exist in the universe. It is sometimes referred to as the membrane dimension.